the show must go on. You know how it is. All right, so welcome, Lagos. So we're going to be kicking off with this day newspaper, and we have this story with the bold headlines: INEC electoral process incomplete without offences commission. I agree. Yes, I agree. Electoral process incomplete without offences commission. Now here's the story. Now the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC yesterday lent support to the bill seeking the establishment of an electoral offences commission to prosecute election offenders, saying the electoral process cannot be completed without such a commission. Now, the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, disclosed this in Abuja at a one-day public hearing on the bill for an act to establish the National Electoral Offences Commission to provide for the legal framework for investigation and prosecution of electoral offences for the general improvement of the electoral process in Nigeria. A story coming from this day newspaper: INEC electoral process is incomplete without offences commission. Well, I want to agree with the INEC commissioner here, saying that electoral process is incomplete without offences commission, and now he is actually seeking for the establishment of the National Electoral Offences Commission. That is where I have an issue. All right, because what is the police there for? Okay. What is the police there for? Why should INEC be the one to say they want to start prosecuting? Because if we do not have, how many, according to INEC, they said that since 2015 till date, they've been able to prosecute 60 electoral offenders. Now, as Nigerians, we should always have it at the back of our minds that when we complain of certain things, bad leadership, electing bad leaders into either the Senate, into the House of Assembly, into as a governor, or maybe anywhere, that we, all of these things, and we hear that ballot box snatching, how many times do we see that these people get prosecuted? But according to INEC, they said that they've prosecuted 60 persons. All right, but we want to see more. Just for example, the ones that happened in Ekiti, the ones that happened in Osun State, all right, we saw those kind of things. We saw these people who vote buying, that is an electoral offense, and we want to see more of that. And I saw the EFCC in action, arresting these people. But okay, after arresting, what do we get afterwards? Do we see these people get prosecuted? We need to see more of that. All right, and I believe the police should be on point doing this, and I'm glad that the EFCC is not just chasing Yahoo boys, but also going after electoral offenders. Those, once you snatch a ballot box, you pay for it. Okay, you pay for it by getting, prosecuted by a court of competent jurisdiction. Once you buy votes, once you pay people, okay, just so that you can swing votes in your favor of your party, you pay for it. And not, when I say pay for it, you get prosecuted for it. So this is according to this day newspaper: electoral processes incomplete without offences commission. That's according to INEC. So you want to get more of that story, grab a copy of this day newspaper. All right, still from this day newspaper, we have this one: Lamido, no one has offended Wike, no basis for reconciliation. Still from this day: Lamido, no one has offended Wike, no basis for reconciliation. Now we move straight to the Vanguard newspaper. 2023, Tinubu meets Wike and 2 PDP governors in London. Oh, that's a scary one. 2023, Tinubu meets Wike and 2 PDP governors in London. What is Wike up to? What is the River State governor up to? Well, here's the story. The crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party, PDP, yesterday took a new dimension as the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Bola Tinubu, met with Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State and some PDP governors in London on Monday night. Now, the Vanguard was reliably informed that Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, his Abia State counterpart, Dr. Keze Ikpeazu, and other PDP stalwarts loyal to the Rivers State governor attended the meeting. The Rivers State governor, we know, is a strong person in the PDP. Okay, and 2 PDP governors meeting with the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress. The River State governor, who is also a strong person in the PDP, is having serious issues with the PDP presidential candidate and also the PDP chairman. And now he's meeting with the APC presidential candidate. What is happening? All right, but anyway, grab a copy of the Vanguard newspaper. 2023, Tinubu meets Wike and 2 PDP governors in London. All right, still coming from the Vanguard. Federal government yet to resolve contending issues. ASU tells minister. That's talking about education. Now, here's the story. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, Bayero University, Kano branch, has on Tuesday slammed the Minister of Education, Adamu Adamu, over claims that the federal government has resolved the contentious issues except the payment of the 6-month withheld salaries. Now, the union, who described the minister's claims as misleading, maintains that none of the contending issues have been addressed. So it's your word against mine. The minister is saying that, well, we've resolved everything. The remaining thing is the no work, no pay policy. You can't expect us to pay you because you didn't work for 6 months. But the union is saying that, hold on, you have not resolved anything. But you're saying that you've resolved everything, okay? Some are even saying that maybe the federal government is trying to blackmail ASU. Remember, just recently, last week, SANU and NASU, they resolved their strike, they're back, and they're going to be back. They're back, you know. Just the remaining is just ASU. But let's not forget that SANU and NASU, those two unions, they're not enough to bring back the students into school. They can't bring back the students into school, except ASU. Then what is really going on? And there's also this story, and it's also on Freshly Pressed, we're also going to be talking about it, where parents are even ready to give, you know, little funds just so that they will help. I remember the Minister of Education is asking students to sue ASU, sue them. That the reasons you've not gone back to school. But why is the federal government? But anyway, they've actually slammed the minister that all of these contentious issues have not been resolved yet. They've not been resolved. So what are you saying, Mr. Minister? Away from that, let's move to the Nation newspaper. Let's talk about Abacha loot. From the Nation, Nigeria and US sign agreement for return of $23.4 million Abacha loot. That's according to the Nation newspaper. Nigeria and US sign agreement for return of $23.4 million Abacha loot. Now, Nigeria and the United States of America on Tuesday signed an agreement for the repatriation of $23.4 million recovered funds set to have been looted by late General Sani Abacha. At the agreement signing ceremony held at the Federal Ministry of Justice, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, signed for Nigeria, while the U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, Mary Beth Leonard, signed for her country. Malami said the fund, which is referred to as the Makosta Sani Mohammed Assets, otherwise known as Abacha 5, would be deployed to the ongoing construction of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the Abuja-Kano Road, and the second Niger Bridge. Here is my issue. Is it too much for us as a country to say that, okay, can we have a comprehensive audit of the total monies that has been recovered, that was returned, tagged the Abacha loot? Can we have an audit? Okay, this is the exact amount that was returned, and also this XYZ are the things used for. Can we have that, you know, that transparency and accountability of, okay, Abacha loot returned, this and this were the things we used it for. Now, according to this agreement, they're saying that they're going to use it for the construction of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the Abuja-Kano Road, and the second Niger Bridge. Can we also have, you know, a comprehensive audit of the ones that have been returned and what have been used for? Is it too much for us to ask? Okay, still from the Nation. Remember, that story is from the Nation. We said that Nigeria and US signed agreement for return of $23.4 million Abacha loot. That's according to the Nation. Now, still from the Nation. 60 electoral offenders convicted since 2015. That's according to the INEC chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu. Here is the story. The national chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has said the commission has secured about 60 convictions for electoral offenders since the 2015 general elections. He said the 60 convictions were obtained from the over 125 cases filed by the Commission against electoral offenders since 2015, while lamenting that the Commission was overburdened by current responsibilities. I feel the police should be the one doing all of this stuff. Why is INEC, you know, adding more responsibilities to it. The police why is the police there? The police should be the one to prosecute these cases. Why are they there? They should up their game. They should be the one prosecuting these cases. Well, this story is from The Nation newspaper. 60 electoral offenders convicted since 2015. That's according to the INEC chairman. All right, let's move away from that to the Daily Sun, where editors and Serap sue Buhari, NBC, others over plan to shut down 53 broadcast station. Now, today is the deadline, by the way. The deadline given by NBC to the 53 broadcast stations that it should shut down operations today. That's the deadline given by the NBC. Well, the story goes that the Nigerian Guild of Editors, NGE, and the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SARAP, have instituted a lawsuit against President Muhammadu Buhari and the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, over the arbitrary use of the NBC Act and broadcast stations in the country over failing to renew their licenses. Now, joined in the suit as defendants is the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Muhammad. The NBC had last week revoked the licenses of the 53 broadcast stations and threatened to shut down their operations within 24 hours of alleged 2.6 billion naira debts. The regulatory body of broadcast stations, in a statement, asked the stations to pay all outstanding licensing fees on or before August 23, 2022, or shut down by 12 a.m. on August 24. Today's the deadline. Okay. And, there's been all sort of rumors saying that, the federal government wants to shut down stations that are not loyal to. No, it's not. It has nothing with that. I was at an event yesterday where the NBC, representative of the NBC, actually came out to say that, hey, it is not about what we're thinking. These broadcast stations are owing the NBC. Renew your licenses. Okay? Renew. It's not a bad thing for you to renew. It is the right of the NBC to ask you to renew. And if you don't renew, what do you get? Should the NBC now fold its arms and just watch? So this is according to the Daily Sun. Editors Serap sue Buhari and NBC and others over plans to shut down 53 broadcast stations. Okay. Still from the Daily Sun, we have this one. 2023 elections may not hold in the Northwest over insecurity, governors tell Buhari. 2023 elections may not hold in the Northwest over insecurity, governors tell Buhari. Now here's the story. Governors have told President Muhammadu Buhari that due to the increase in insecurity, elections may not hold in the Northwest states of Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, and Zamfara in 2023. Now, the cable reveals that the governors made this known in a policy brief which was part of the political economy situation review sent to the president in July 2022, urging the president to urgently address the security situation. The governors urged the president to establish military bases in Biringwari, Lijana, Kashia, and Marambam in Jos in Kaduna State and Kotangura and Gwada in Niger State. A very scary one coming from the Daily Sun. 2023 elections may not hold in the Northwest over insecurity, governors tell Buhari. Now to the Guardian newspaper. US signs agreements to return $23 million of battery loot to Nigeria. We already talked about that. Alright, still coming from the Daily Sun. PSC suspends recruitment of constables after IGP's protest. Now, the Police Service Commission has suspended the recruitment process of constables into the Nigerian police force. The commission did this less than 24 hours after the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, fumed over an advertorial on recruitment. In a statement issued by the force spokesman, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, the IGP, had asked Nigerians to disregard the advertorial which was placed in national dailies. Reacting on Tuesday, the commission, in a statement by its spokesman, Ikechukwu Ani, confirmed that there are issues between the police force and the commission, saying things would be sorted out as soon as possible. Now from the Daily Sun, PSC, Police Service Commission, that's the PSC, suspends recruitment of constables after IGP's protest. Alright, still from the Daily Trust, Zamfara panel. Turuji must publicly surrender arms to prove he has repented. Turuji must publicly surrender arms to prove he has repented. That's according to the Daily Trust. Where the Zamfara State Committee on Armed Banditry and Related Offences says it will not take notorious bandits Bello Turuji seriously until he publicly lays down his arms and announced that he has repented. The state deputy governor had on Saturday told participants at a security conference that Turuji had embraced dialogue and pledged to turn against other terrorists. A few months after Governor Bello Matoale's assumption of office, he had introduced a peace dialogue with bandits as a way of ending the over-decade-long issues of banditry, cattle rustling and kidnapping for ransom. Now, several bandits, including Anwalam Daudawa, who masterminded the abduction of students in Kankara, Katsina State in December 2020, publicly surrendered their arms and told the path of peace. Still from the Daily Trust. Zamfara panel, Turuji must publicly surrender arms to prove that he has surrendered. Alright, to the Punch newspaper, Nigeria recovers 86.2 billion naira stolen oil in 1 month. That's according to the Punch. Nigeria recovers 86.2 billion naira stolen oil in 1 month. Now, different government security outfits operating across the country have recovered stolen oil worth 86.2 billion naira in August, according to the Punch findings. A total of 16,000 litres of diesel valued at 800 naira per litre were on Monday reported to have been recovered by members of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defence Corps in Cross River State. Speaking with the media, the River State NSCDC Commandant Samuel Fadi said the stolen products, which were mainly automotive gas oil, also known as diesel, were recovered within the last 2 weeks. Also, last week Wednesday, the Nigerian Customs Service Ema Area Command said it intercepted 3,998 jerry cans of premium malted spirit and 30 litres each, equivalent to 119,940 litres. Well, this is good news. At least they are recovering. They're recovering. The stolen oil. They're recovering. They need to do more, because according to reports, 400,000 litres are stolen daily. 400,000 litres are stolen daily on a daily basis in Nigeria. So with this one, it's a good one. All right, I hope they improve on that. It's coming from the Punch. Nigeria recovers 86.2 billion naira stolen oil in 1 month. Still from the Punch, ASU and parents. Parents propose 10,000 naira support levy for varsities. Well, are you in support of that? As a parent, to pay 10,000 naira to support levies for varsities to improve. If the federal government will not do it, let the parents do it. But the National Parents Teacher Association of Nigeria sought audience with the federal government over the lingering strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities. The association is also proposing the payment of 10,000 naira per session for each parent to assist government in making more funds available for universities. The NAPTEN's public relations officer, Ademola Ekundaya, disclosed this during an interview with the Punch on Tuesday. Ekundaya, who lamented continued closure of universities in the country, said parents were at the receiving end of the disagreement between the federal government and ASU. From the Punch newspaper, ASU, parents propose 10,000 naira support levy for varsities. Now, still from the Punch as well, cultist shoots rival dead in Lagos restaurant. Suspect nabbed. Now, here's the story. 3 suspected members of the Klansman confraternity have been arrested by men of the Lagos State Police Command for allegedly shooting a member of the Eyeko fraternity, Akinola Ayegbusi, to death at a restaurant in Alapere area of the state. Punch Metro gathered that normal activities were ongoing when the suspects were said to be on revenge mission trailed Ayegbusi to the front of the restaurant. After spotting him, the suspects, who were armed with guns and cutlasses, allegedly shot Ayegbusi in a bid, and in a bid to escape, the victim ran into the restaurant. Thereafter, the suspects, numbering 6, were seen in a video clip captured by the closed-circuit television installed in the premises of the restaurant, shooting and using cutlasses to hack Ayegbusi till he died. A really sad one. A really sad one. From the Punch newspaper comes this rather gory one. Cultists shoot rival dead in Lagos restaurant. Suspects nabbed. Alright, right about now, I think it's time for us to bring in our analyst, Adela Samuel. Adela Samuel, good morning.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so glad to see you this morning. Alright, so, Adela Samuel, lots of stories right here on the papers. And let's start with from the the first story, this day newspaper, INEC electoral processes incomplete without offences commission. Do you agree with the INEC chairman on that one?
Well, partially, I think I do. Partially. What I mean by partially is that you don't need a special commission or electoral commission to deal with a case of criminality because at the end of the day, it's still going to boil down to one thing. The punishment thereafter will be stipulated as it is stipulated in all the criminal code, penal code, and the criminal act, as it were. Depends on which state and depends on if it's a federal government offense. Then Administration of Criminal Justice 2015 will, come into place. But if that will facilitate or speed up the process of punishment, yes, I agree with them that special offense committee or whatever they call it, should come up because our regular court has been overwhelmed by different kind of, cases.
Yeah, I know that there's been this call for special courts.
Yes, cases. So it might not actually help to get quick justice for deterrent for others that might want to be used by the politician.
But don't you think that if we don't have this special court like a commission for electoral offenders, because most of the time some say that the reasons most young persons involve themselves in electoral offenses are because they hardly get punished for it, or maybe a slap on the wrist for it. But according to INEC, they said that 60 persons have been convicted.
Do they use the electoral commission to do that?
I'm sure they did not. But what is the work of the police then?
Come back to what I was saying, that if it is because of speedy dispensation of the cause of justice, good to them, I support it. But if it is for prosecution, they might not necessarily need it because we have different kind of security agency that does prosecution these days, including in fact by the act of state security services. I don't know, you guys call it DSS. There's nothing like DSS in the act. They are still SSS up to this present moment. They still prosecute as well, even though there is no that kind of provision in their one of you. And you should know that they are also part of the Nigerian police. They are just the separate part of
part of the executive.
And the FCC prosecute, CCB prosecute. I mean CCT, CCB, CCT, like that. So maybe creating such for them also will help. Like the CCT, CCT has its own special. I mean CCB has its own special CCT.
Code of Conduct Bureau.
Code of Conduct Bureau and Code of Conduct Tribunal. And when the cases are there, it is for them alone. No other matter will come in between, and they can run it every other day till the matter is expedited with. So to me, if that is for the reason, then it's good. Let them have it.
Because we forget that when we talk about...
Because the one you are talking about, the one they said they have gotten a prosecution done
60 convictions.
Might be 2010, it might be 2011, it might be 2017.
No, they said that from 2015 till date.
Can you imagine?
2015 till date. So from 2015, we've had how many elections?
That's about... we're about to have the third one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but we forget that there's been all these supplementary elections.
Supplementary and there. Yeah. So we have so many like that. So that to tell you that it is for the speedy, They
said out of 123 cases, they've gotten 60.
Okay, that's kudos. One way or the other.
Yeah, it's still a good one. It's still a good one. But I think the police...
But how do the people they are using know that it is their colleagues that have been sentenced for one time or the other? How? Because it has taken a long time for even the colleagues that joined them in the brigandage and electoral violations, right violation, to have forgotten about them. All these things we are talking about, they are thugs. They are not just, they are not people that you and I can identify with on the street. But it is their colleagues that knows them that, this guy followed us to a place somewhere, and we have not seen the last of him ever since then. So, to me, I believe that such and such must be expediently dealt with in order for people that they participated with that got escape to know that the act we did the other time, there is punishment for it, or so that when next they call them, they could be able to tell the son or to tell the politician that, please, we are ready to work